Oh, yeah. Yesterday on the show, karaoke extravaganza on the show yesterday when I put it out one after 9:09 from the Beatles. I had just finished watching the Apple rooftop sessions where the Beatles performed there, and it was absolutely fantastic. And my God, I have got to take the time to watch that documentary. Is it only available on like Apple TV? Isn't that right? Not sure. It was hilarious. And I don't know what you're referring to. Was it my singing was hilarious? This, the 4th of February, 2022.
Hey, this is Patriot Nick and your show podcast where if you don't like what the host says, he'll threaten to fight you in the streets.
Hey, I'm a girl.
Oop, wait, that's not the clip.
Guess I have to fight you in the street.
There you go. Now here's your host.
I'll fight you in the street.
There's Zane.
I don't care where it is. I will fight you in the street.
Welcome into the Patreon bonus podcast. Thank you so much for being here, and welcome. Yes, I had correspondence with Melissa, who's there in the live chat, about something struck her funny bone on the show yesterday. It was, I think, Kate in New Jersey, the Duchess of New Jersey's hard and strong take about how, she was like being really aggressively offended by Robin Thicke. And that, Kate's like super empowered. And so, this is right in her wheelhouse of rage. She goes, "Oh yeah, I don't like the fact that song Blurred Lines. I mean, he's objectifying women." And I was like, "Yeah, well, what are you gonna fucking dance to? Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald? Put your whore boots on and get to dancing." And that had a profound effect on Melissa, who laughed uproariously as she did. Kate is the best. I love her, but I was dying. And you should. You should laugh right in her filthy face for saying such a dumb thing. That's a great song. And if it plays at any wedding, everybody's going to go get on the dance floor and they're going to grind at each other. Babies are going to be made. Thicke is helping increase the population with that song. It's a great song. Welcome in again. I like saying welcome in a lot. Hang on. I got to get a drink of this coffee. I got to finish this. Patriot Nick says, "I don't think it's the fact that he was objectifying women so much as his glaring hypocrisy with Rudy. No, she doesn't care about that shit. And quit putting words into her mouth, you fucking caveman." Yeah, just read into it, Nick. This is how you earn Asshole of the Day awards. Shut up. I kind of wanted to get this out there because it's really a story. My God. Now, for a little bit of background, about 2 years ago, maybe more, I was in this studio. It was so long ago that the configuration that I have now that you're seeing, it wasn't even, I was facing the other way. And I remember doing a show which featured Alex Jones, of all people, exposing a quote that Joe Rogan had said on his show. Joe Rogan was telling a story, and he said something awful. And Alex Jones beat the shit out of him over it. Now, all of this is very, speaking of blurred lines, it's all very blurry because I don't know, because these guys are pals, Jones and Rogan. And they get along. So I thought, my God, if I'm Joe Rogan and this guy says that about me, I'm probably not going to engage him anymore. But then again, what I said, and you'll hear what he said, what I'm talking about in a second. I'm going to play it all for you. Holy shit. All you need to know is that at the end of the clip, Alex Jones said, Joe Rogan just said that all black people are apes. All black people are monkeys. And Rogan did. He did say that in different words, but oh man, this is not good. And I remember playing the clip and I'm like, boy, how does this guy get away with that? I mean, this was before Spotify. People have been deplatformed for a lot less. And that is a very real threat. A lot of these platforms that I utilize them, they give you a tremendous amount of leeway to say whatever the fuck you want. They really do. But one of the things they don't tolerate is that type of talk. So, I mean, okay. A little bit of background. 2 weeks ago, the Neil Young thing hits. And then included in that name, in that story, is like Neil Young says he doesn't want anything to do with Spotify and some others, including I think Graham Nash, whatever, and India Arie. So she was kind of lumped in with that whole big batch. Joni Mitchell, is that the folk singer? Oops, is that the folk singer's name? She was included in that. But India Arie, she isn't interested in any of the eat ivermectin to cure COVID talk. No. The door was opened by Young, and she walked in with a different approach about. So now lining up with different things that they want to address with Spotify that they have a problem with Rogan. And I mean, based on my ears, I would say that this is 1,000,000 times more concerning. The only reason why no one is jumping on board on this story, though, is because India Arie is a black woman. That's my opinion. And, well, that's pretty much it. I can't really think of anything. I mean, she's very accomplished. She's won several Grammy Awards. She's sold 10 million albums. In fact, and just doing a little bit of basic research on her, I mean, all I knew was I had heard the name, but I didn't know who she was. An American singer-songwriter, 4 Grammy Awards, 23 nominations, including Best R&B Album, sold 5 million in the U.S. and 10 million worldwide. So, no, she's not the greatest, the most successful female singer of all time, but she's very formidable, to be sure. All right. That's all you need to know. And she's a human being who wanted to be heard, but nobody would fucking listen to her. She's like, wait a minute, so now this isn't all as one-sided as it sounds. You might think, oh my God, I'm throwing all my chips in on India Arie and we're gonna let Joe Rogan have it, but not exactly. The evidence is terrible against Rogan, and Arie has done an excellent job in getting saying, hey, here's my problem, and then like playing the clips of him. So bad. And I can't stress enough that when I start to play these clips, it's going to sound terrible what you're about to hear. So if you're in a place that anybody can hear me, well, I doubt you would be in a place where anybody can hear me because I swear all the fucking time. So just be warned. So, okay. So what does she want? And what is she complaining about? Is it the COVID shit? No, she's not complaining about the COVID shit. I have from her Instagram, she posted several things on there, and I kind of edited them all together, and included in them are one, a supercut of Joe Rogan using the N-word with a hard R, and the other one, the first one, that's the second one. The first one is him describing what it was like when he was going to see a film and he was dropped off to see a film. I think the film might have actually have been Planet of the Apes he wanted to go see. When they were dropped off and came off, he describes what he saw. Amongst that is clips from her talking, her explaining herself. So when you go into this with an open mind, I know some of you are fucking racist, and you're not gonna want to listen to anything she says. But if you'd simply shut up for a minute and let her finish, we might be able to get somewhere with this. So here you go. You've been warned. Here's the clip.
Hey y'all, I want to leave a short message here about why I decided to ask my music be pulled off of Spotify. So check this out.
Says, okay, take me to this one. And the guy goes, okay. I goes, is that in a good neighborhood? He's like, oh, yeah. Guy barely speaks English. He takes us there. We get out and we're giggling. Oh, we're going to see Planet of the Apes. We walk into Planet of the Apes. We walked into Africa, dude. We walked in the door and there was no white people.
I empathize with the people who are leaving for the COVID.
Okay, let's before we continue the discussion from Arie. That's not the worst thing, but if you're the guy who runs Spotify, what's his name? David Eck. I've seen it written as Eck and Elk. I don't know what's right. I don't know what's wrong. Doesn't matter. Do you think he's finding out about that today? Now, granted, those comments weren't made when the product was on Spotify, but it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. If he's finding out about that today through that clip, he's like, I mean, I can own, fuck. That coming back. I mean, if I'm him at that point, I'm like, all right, we're no longer, we're done defending you for your comments about whatever it is. Because Rogan did an excellent job, I thought, explaining himself, where he was coming from. You know, he shot that video that I played all 10 minutes of it here on this show, on the free podcast, of him explaining where he comes from. And I've been very supportive of him, so that, you know, I mean, my God, I don't necessarily agree with any of the things that he's talked about on the show, but I don't think he should be censored. But I would like to see Joe Rogan now. I think fuck all that other shit. You should probably, if you're a man, try to talk your way out of this one. I would love to see Joe Rogan talk his way out of this one for describing. I mean, there is no context that you can share with me that is in any way defendable. Impossible. So sure, love to see you in your backyard now. Explain that one to me. Ball in your court. India Arie is only 31 seconds into this 4-minute and 15-second display, and she's already given you the tomahawk dunk in your fucking face. I'm also interested in how this story has not caught on. Has a little in some circles, but fuck the COVID shit. This is what should be talked about now. Now you have something that's, in my opinion, it's a more tantalizing, interesting story to me. You can, if you're Spotify, you can kind of smoke and mirror your way through this until it dies down, but that's difficult to have die down, that right there. And I haven't even played the worst one.
disinformation reasons.
We're going to see Planet of the Apes. We walk into Planet of the Apes. We walked into Africa, dude. We walked in the door, and there was no white people.
I empathize with the people who are leaving for the COVID disinformation reasons, and I think that they should. I also think that Joe Rogan has the right to say what he wants to say. I also think that I have the right to say what I want to say. So as an artist who build, they pay this guy $100 million, but they pay us 0.003% of a penny, just take me off. I don't want to generate money that pays this. Just take me off. That's where I'm at. And I know that I'm actually, to be honest with you, surprised that my statements were picked up, because I thought people weren't really going to listen to me, because that's what I'm used to from the industry. But I'm glad that I am being heard. And for that reason, I want to clarify my statements. Again, this is why. Why?
Okay. Here's the big one. You're about to hear terrible words. This is a supercut of Joe Rogan saying the N-word with a hard ER.
This.
Like, you know,
The nigger thing.
Yes.
Saying the word nigger.
you've already said nigger.
D is just like nigger. Saying nigger. She's calling you a nigger. It's like this boy that he's a nigger that starts calling them niggers. Word nigger. There should be a word like nigger, especially like the word nigger. That's our nigger. About niggers. He says nigger. Guy, a nigger. And then our niggers start saying nigger. Allowed to use the word nigger. Out the word nigger. See nigger. Word nigger. Say nigger, and he couldn't say nigger. Most nigger.
Okay, I'm reasonably certain that he's not using that. Hi, I'm Joe Rogan, and I think he's, I mean, giving him some benefit of the doubt. And in my opinion, it doesn't work. You just shouldn't say that word. That's a horrible word to say. I doubt he would be well, I can't say that. I just heard him refer to black people as apes, for God's sake. I don't have anything for you. All I know is you said that word on your fucking show. Holy shit. Again, I challenge him to talk his way out of this.
So we know how social media can be. Things can be doctored. People are taken out of context. It's happened to me many times. However, I want to be clear, in no uncertain terms, where I stand on this is that he shouldn't even be uttering the word.
Yeah.
Don't even say it under any context. Don't say it. That's where I stand. It's my right to stand there.
Even if he's just quoting someone, it's, everybody knows that. You just don't. And I'm sorry. Don't try to position this as, why can't we say this word? Black people say the words. Yeah, I know. I get it. I understand. I'm not gonna. It's a mystery to me too. But I'm not. No, hell no.
Always stood there. I have other feelings about it, but those are nuances that are not meant for this moment. He shouldn't even be saying it. And so the confluence of energies comes into play here.
Okay. Now, the back half of this is where I'm a little concerned with her motivation behind this. To me, it would be acceptable for her to get him off of the. I understand that. However, this turns, and you have to pay attention, and you will hear what, in my opinion, is her motivation.
Now we have this person who is offensive to a lot of people, who's paid $100 million. Spotify, the backbone of Spotify is the music. So you pay the musicians that are the backbone of your business 0.003 to 0.005% of a penny, and you take this money that you generate over here, because all the rest of it goes somewhere. The subscription fees go somewhere. So you take this money that's generated over here, use it to invest in this guy. Do what you want, but take me off, or pay me too.
Right there. I don't think you can say, I'm taking a stand. I want my music off. Look at the terrible things he's saying. pay me. I don't think it's right for her to say, I deserve. If you're going to have a guy speaking that terribly about black people and then just say, well, I turn a blind eye if you pay me, that looks shitty as well. So I think she indirectly, and I think she, I don't even know if she realizes she's doing it, but we're seeing her motivation come out. She wants to get paid. She doesn't like the fact that he makes a lot of money on, and she also goes into the background of how Spotify makes money and assumes that all are generating subscriptions. That money's going to Joe Rogan. I don't know that. I doubt she does either. How the ins and outs of how Spotify. But to me, it's a little funky to make this big stance about right and wrong and bad language and things that this man has said. And to me, she should end this by saying, this is, whatever, put a nice bow on it and say, yeah, we should boycott Joe Rogan. I mean, if you're going to do that, you're set up beautifully for it. You got the guy saying that black people are apes and he's using the N-word over and over again. But then you, instead of ending it appropriately, you're saying, pay me. Oh no.
And I don't mean me. I mean us. Us like me. Pay us too. Pay podcasters of color too.
Yeah, sure. Well, I'm Armenian. I'm a white guy, but maybe I'm kind of in a minority. Maybe can I have a few pennies too? I'm on Spotify. Could I maybe have some money?
So artist relations from Spotify called me yesterday and they asked me what I want. And I've been thinking about this all night. I'm not going to.
She should only say here, I want those episodes where he uses that type of language taken off. And I want to be assured that he's not going to speak that way anymore. That's what she should say here. If Spotify calls you and says, what do you want, Arie? And you've just detailed the problems, that's what you should say.
It all here. But what I want, I've been thinking about this all night. I'm not going to say it all here, but what I want to say to you is something that I already knew, but I want you to know that they said it last night. Most of the streams on Spotify are black music, but we know that if you're paying attention at all, you understand the role of black music in this world.
Okay, so what do you want? You got him on the phone. Are you on a fact-finding mission about the stats of Spotify, or do you want something to happen?
So that's a deeper nuance. There's the musicians. There's the black music that is the backbone of the whole music industry. That's the backbone of Spotify too, who are historically underpaid and mistreated and all this stuff. Just there's a historical context here that makes all this matter. And then there's this guy, and you take this money and you pay this guy who says this stuff. No. And so it took Anil Young to open the door for someone like me, but I walked through it because I've been standing at this door for a long time. One of the hashtags I put on my post, the written one was, if we all leave. And that's what I'm trying to see if we could get to happen.
Okay, so you're saying you want to leave, but you want money. You heard it.
We all leave. Then we can start having a conversation. It can go from a conversation to a negotiation.
Yeah, what do you want? Again, if you get Spotify on the phone, and that's it. If you get Spotify on the phone and says, all right, Arie, we're hearing you. What would you like? Too much on there. You had us with fucking Uru hammers of misfortune of Rogan, in his own words, saying terrible things. And then you spoke for another 2 minutes and 15 seconds about how you need to get paid. What the fuck is going on here? So I don't know. I shouldn't be more confused by this, but I think she kind of made it more confusing. You have this great opportunity, and people are finally starting to understand what you want, and then you instead of say, I mean, my God, what exactly is your problem? Is your problem that you're not making money, or is your problem that meathead MMA steroid guy is making racist jokes and saying the N-word? Okay. Andrea says she sounds jealous to me. I agree with that. The fact of the matter is a lot of people sign up and listen to Spotify because of him being there. And I think it's a bad look when you have this, the actual audio of him saying terrible things, and yet you're asking for more money. Nick says, I hate the phrase person of color. Well, you're a person like everyone else. The only difference is a higher percentage of melanin. Okay. Little semantics there. Thank you for your input. Boomer Bob says, well, then quit making music. You don't feel properly compensated. Go work at Amazon. Kyle, who's as liberal as they come, says, quote, I'm so offended. I need money. It's the F word. I deserve reparation. Melissa says, somebody call the wambulance. Come on. Kyle again says, so who is this lady? Her wiki page is not giving me much info. She's an R&B singer. She used to date Chris Tucker, I think. If this was truly about racism, she would. With you. I don't think this is about. I think she used the inflammatory statements by Rogan and then did what she did. How many race cards are in the deck? Boomer Bob says the audience is not sympathetic at all to India Arie. This is a money grab. Deep down, money is almost always behind everything. I support removing misinformation unless you pay me. I'm taking a stand against racism unless you pay me more. Then who gives a shit what he says? Oh, man. Did I write Rohan or Rogan? It's Rogan. But I still want to see Joe Rogan try to. You know? I mean, to me, that would be spectacular. I don't think he's going to, though. If you are new on the free Patreon for today, I appreciate you being here. Welcome. Make yourselves at home. There are maybe a dozen people that are here with you on the live stream. It's a strong, vocal, friendly, loving bunch. I would love you to join it. You have to go to, patreon.com. patreon.com/Eric Zane. From time to time, I do these freebies. It is essentially an extension of the free daily podcast, but it's just us chatting, sometimes yelling, and having a good time. I just went into the bathroom where the NFK's oral hygiene products exist, his toothbrush and his toothpaste. I was under the impression it hasn't been touched since I urged him to start brushing his teeth, which I think I'm like, well, I can't say for sure. So I was just giving him his meds, and I walked in. I go, hey, I hate to keep harping on you about this, but please make sure that you brush your teeth. I didn't lead him with a question like, hey, did you brush your teeth? Because then he's going to lie. But I don't think he is, because he looked at me like I'm crazy, and he goes, I did. Like he was almost proud of it and like, you got to believe me type of expression. He goes, I ate the damn granola bar and then I went in there and I brushed them. I go, okay, all right, good. That's what we want. I go, sorry. I just want to make sure. I mean, the last thing we want is your teeth to fall out of your head. You have a crazy infection and you get gangrene of the head because you won't brush your fucking teeth. Holy shit. Seems like every year at about this time, Super Bowl time, I hear about some idiot who does some kind of crazy bet, and it's always the same guy. He's known as Mac. Jim Mattress Mac Mickingvale. Jim Mickingvale. He sells furniture and mattresses in Houston, Texas. He's known to drop a ton of coin on the Super Bowl. This year, he set a record. The Caesars Sportsbook, which is online right now. Many states, you can place a bet online. It is fucking, I've talked about this before. I am avoiding this like the plague. If I bet $1 and win $2, I'm hooked. There, oh boy. Eric stays away. No. I've never gambled in my life. Now, there was a time when I used to, my brother Paul had a bookie, and I would make my picks and then give him like $5, and then he would take it to his bookie, and then I'd get paid out that way or whatnot. But that's it. And I could see where that would get you hooked. In fact, the dudes I ran with when I was growing up, to this day, they're still their whole life they've been gamblers, like degenerates, busted and disgusted, degenerate gamblers. So no. But in Michigan now, you can fucking play slot machine, you can play poker on your fucking phone, let alone make bets. It's incredible. And seriously, the calls to the gambling hotline are through the roof. Anytime, like whenever Huge does like a commercial, here with a DraftKings sports bet, 5 seconds of the commercial is place a bet with 55 seconds of use. Call the phone number if you've got a gambling problem. And calls to those lines are through the roof, like up like 500%. So everybody's blowing all their money on gambling. Now, in some states that don't have legalized online betting, you have to quite literally drive across state lines to another state and then log in and make your bet. That you can do. It knows when you're there. Oh my God. If you explain this to a 1975 bookmaker about they would have a magic device that does this, but not everywhere. They have to go to certain states, and the magic device talks to a satellite to okay the bet. They'd shoot you where you stood. I even feel horrible when I go into a casino. Just the constant sound and the smokiness of the room, and just people on oxygen tanks and old people blowing their Social Security checks. And how is it that it's okay to smoke in those places? How is it that you know why? It's because the states make so much damn money. If you take time to leave your machine and go outside to smoke, that's less revenue for the state. Think about that. Well, anyway, I digress. Mattress Mac, every year, he makes this ridiculous bet, and then idiots like me talk about it, and he gets his money back, kind of, I guess, with people talking about him. Okay. In Texas, he couldn't make the bet for the Bengals. The Bengals are the underdog. Bet $4.5 million more than on the Bengals. Took the Bengals and the points. It's the biggest single wager that he's ever placed and a record for Caesars. That's the one where the guy who was on Curb Your Enthusiasm is wearing he's Caesar, funny commercials. Order into Louisiana, pulled over at a gas, gone to his mobile betting account with Caesars Sportsbook, and dropped $4.5 million in bets on the Bengals at plus 170 odds to upset the Rams. If the Bengals win, Mattress Mac will net $7.7 million. So that means 7.7 plus 4.5. So it'd be over $12 million coming back to him, but he spent 4.5. So he's going to net $7.7 million. Quote, I had to make around $200,000 bets to make it work, Mattress Mac told ESPN on Thursday night. But thank you to Caesars for taking the bet, because sometimes they'll be sitting there in the Caesars online sportsbook IT department. Like, some crazy fuck in Louisiana is dropping 200 GER over and over. Caesars saw it and they tweeted about it. They wrote, the return of the Mac for the Super Bowl at Mattress Mac just wagered $4,534,000 on the hashtag Caesars Sportsbook app in Louisiana on the Bengals, plus 170 to win over the Rams. It's the single biggest mobile wager of all time. The book said it was their the second largest bet that the company has ever taken on the Super Bowl, eclipsing a $4.9 million money line bet at minus 900 odds on the heavily favored Rams to beat the Patriots in Super Bowl 36. Patriots won that one, 20-17. The Joe Burrow magic is pulling fans in, especially in Louisiana with his college roots, said Ken Fuchs, head of sports. I swear to God, his name is Ken Fuchs. Fuchs. Of course, the guy who runs the company that screws you out of your money is named Ken Fuchs. There might be other ways to pronounce that, but I'm going with Fuchs. This $4.5 million bet on Joe and the Bengals, Mac will make history again. Can you imagine if in the first time the Bengals have the ball, like Aaron Donald hits him blindside and his head comes off or something like that? I mean, Mike, talk about the odds are instantly against you. McInvall often uses the sports betting market to mitigate his risk on furniture giveaways. For example, this past baseball season, he spread around $13 million in bets on the Houston Astros to win the World Series, while offering to refund anyone who spent more than $3,000 in furniture at his store. The Astros lost. He said he'll be doing so again on his bet on the Bengals, refunding anyone who spends $3,000 on furniture if Cincinnati wins the Super Bowl. So wait a minute. So if the Rams, okay, so he's encouraging people to buy the furniture, but if Cincinnati wins, he'll give you $3,000 back. So what he's doing there is that's pretty great. He's paying these people with the money he would make on the bet. So let's say in the Houston area, that's a hell of a way to get people into your store. Come buy this bedroom set, and if the Bengals win, if let's say it costs $2,999, I'm going to give you your money back. That is really great and so simple, it's sickening. So, basically, he talks about this leading up to it. People buy the shit out of his furniture. With any luck, it'll balance itself out, selling that much millions of dollars in furniture. And let's say he sells $2 million in furniture. He's gotten all the marketing that goes along with that. He has to give that money back to those people, but he's still made $7.7 million on the bet. That is fucking sweet. He bet $3.46 million on the Bucks plus 3.5 on last year's game as part of a promotional giveaway at his store. The Bucks delivered. But McInvale's been on a cold streak recently. He lost $4.7 million in a week betting on football in January. highlighted by a $2.7 million money line bet on Alabama to beat Georgia. The following week, he saw $2 million in futures bets he placed on the Patriots to win the Super Bowl go up in flames. I've always said that a setback is just a setup for a comeback, Mackingvale said. Bengals fans are hoping he's right. Wow. Must be nice. Must be nice to drop that kind of money on a fucking football game. I would be so disgusted with myself if I put $10 fucking on and lost that money. I'd be like, oh no, man. $4.5 million. Get the fuck out of here. Shit. Melissa says, I lose 20 and I'm out. All right. Do you talk to Brother Paul and Kate? Do you oh fuck, wait, what's going on here? Do you talk to Brother Paul and Kate voice? My brother Paul? That's not a left field question. All right. Adam says, if you don't take care of your teeth, you'll end up waiting for your dentures to get made like me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you're dealing with that. Here's the thing, Adam. When you get those new pearly whites, they're going to be pristine. That have that happen. You know, their teeth are immaculate. They've got 50 years on them. So, you know, if you smile, it stands out. You got to dirty them up a little. So maybe rub them in some chewing tobacco or something like that before you put them in your mouth. You know, it's just too white, too bright. Good luck with that. And Terry finishes it with, I only gamble on farts. Well, who doesn't? Who doesn't? All right, folks. We are just hours away from a gathering, if you will, at Bosco's Pub. 4 p.m. I will be there. The Queen of the Forest will be joining me. Okay? So everyone's probably going to want to talk to her and hang out with her. And like you all hang out with me all the time, but it isn't all the time that she shows up at these events. She was at the last one. So I'm excited to see you all. Come one, come all, from close, from far, whatever it may be. 4 p.m. Bosco's Pub in beautiful Hudsonville, Michigan. Part of the army of Eric Zane Show podcast listeners. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Dean says Poop Bear can sit next to me. Stay away from her, Dean. Okay, thanks again, folks. I appreciate you. If the Patreon isn't your thing, thank you for being here to check this one out. At least I appreciate the time. Special hello to Kevin Corbett in North Carolina. Hope you're doing well, buddy. I saw that you were on here. And I'll see you all at a super spreader event. Until next time, thank you. Bye-bye.